Hello everyone. Today we are going to study the biology chapter class 12, Human Reproduction. And first of all, we will study male reproductive system in it. Before going to the male reproductive system, we should know one thing, that what are the steps in reproduction. So the first step is formation of gametes. What it is? Formation of gametes, right? And this is the very initial step and very important as well. So there are two types of gametes, male and female gametes. Male and female. Male gamete is called as sperm and female gamete is known as ova. So for male and female parents to procreate, they must need to form gametes first. This is the very initial process. This is the very initial step. After this step, this process is known as, the formation of gametes is known as gametogenesis, right? After gametogenesis, the next step comes is insemination. Now, what is insemination? Insemination is, to understand the insemination, we must know that in humans, internal fertilization occurs. And for internal fertilization, there should be a way to carry male gamete to female body. And this process is known as insemination. After insemination, the third process is fertilization. So when the male gamete is inside the female body, the fusion of male and female gamete occurs. And this process is known as fertilization. Or this is also known as syngamy. What it is? Syngamy. Okay. So after fertilization, the fusion occurs and the zygote is formed. Now zygote is formed. After from zygote blastocyst formed, and it gets attached to the uterine wall of female body. And this attachment is known as implantation. So this is the step after the fertilization. Now after implantation, the entire period of pregnancy will occur, and this period is known as gestation period. What it is? Gestation period. And this is approximately of 9 months, right? We already know that it is 9 months. Now after after gestation period, 9 months, after 9 months, the baby developed, the fully developed baby, it's the time for delivery of the baby after 9 months, and this process is called parturition. Now after what happens after parturition, the baby gets the nourishment from the mother through breastfeeding, and this is known as lactation. And so these are all the steps in reproduction, and they should be remembered as it is mentioned here, because sometimes it is asked in the exam. So it is like that. First is gametogenesis, then insemination, then fertilization, then implantation, gestation, after that parturition, and the last step is lactation. Let's study the male reproductive system and organs responsible for formation of gametes. So when we study any reproductive system, we must know what organs it constitutes or what parts it constitutes. In every reproductive system, we have some primary organs, some accessory ducts, and some accessory glands. First, we are going to study the primary sex organs. So it is responsible for production of male gametes, or what we can say, we studied earlier that it is called as sperm also. Now the second function of this is that it secretes sex hormones, which are responsible for secondary sexual characters in males. Okay. Now come to the second, accessory ducts we were talking about. So what's its function? That it helps gametes to reach their final destination or it helps in transport these gametes. These are the functions of this. And the examples of these ducts in male reproductive system are vas efferentia, vas deferens, and epididymis. Okay, so now come to the next, which is our third, accessory glands. So what is its function? It secretes some other materials which are required in the process of reproduction, and it constitutes a pair of seminal vesicle. That's why it is written as 2, because 2 seminal vesicles are present, and 1 prostate gland and a pair of Cowper's gland or bulbourethral gland. So these are the names of this is the other name of Cowper's gland. Now when we are come to the external genitalia in male reproductive system, the example of it in male is penis. Let us study all the structures in detail and start with primary sex organs and their structure. The primary sex organs in case of human male is testis. We already know that. So 1 pair of testis is present in male reproductive system. 1 pair means 2 testes are present. The plural of testis is testis, right? And in case of human male, the testes are situated outside the body and present in a structure, in a pouch-like structure known as scrotum. Okay, and the question arises why they are present outside in case of human male. The reason being the formation of sperms and testes needs temperature 2 to 2.5 degrees lower than the normal human body temperature. That's the reason the testes are present outside the body in case of human males. That's why it is known as extra-abdominal testis. Okay. Now, this is not the case in fetal stage of the baby, right? So, at that time, the testes are present inside the abdomen and they descend from the abdomen to the scrotum in the 7th month of gestation period. In the 7th month of gestation period, testes descend from abdomen to scrotum with the help of inguinal canal, right? Now sometimes what happens, testes fail to descend in the scrotum even after the birth of the new child, and this abnormal condition is known as cryptorchidism. This is the failure of testes to descend. Now, in this case, the testes are inside the abdomen, so the male is infertile or sterile, right? Because why this happened that the male is infertile or sterile? Because testes don't get the appropriate temperature to undergo spermatogenesis. That means that they are not able to form the sperms, right? So we already know about the extra-abdominal testis, but there are some animals other than human which have intra-abdominal testis. What? Intra-abdominal testis. And the examples of such animals are elephant and obviously aquatic mammals. Now I'm going to tell you a very interesting fact which one should know, that in some animals testes can be intra as well as extra abdominal according to the breeding seasons. Like whenever the breeding season comes, testes move outside the body of that animal, and when the season is gone, testes can move back into the abdomen, and this case is seen in bats only. Now let us study the longitudinal section of testis. Longitudinal section of testis through a diagram which is given in the screen. The testes are surrounded by a sheath that is known as tunica albuginea. What it is known as tunica albuginea, this is the sheath. Okay. The sheath layer invaginates inside the structure which is giving rise to testicular lobules. Inside the structure like this, and this is giving giving the testicular lobules. These are the testicular lobules. Okay. In a single testis, there are 250 testicular lobules. How many are they present inside a single testis? 250. Okay. Every testicular lobule has 2-3 coil structures. These are the coil structures, and what are they called? They are called seminiferous tubules. Okay. The seminiferous tubules are responsible for formation of sperms. So the sperms are formed inside the seminiferous tubule. From the seminiferous tubule, a duct is arising which is known as tubule recti. Okay, this is tubule recti. All the ducts from all the compartments join and form a mesh like retitestis. A mesh like retitestis. Okay, from retitestis, small ducts will come out and will carry sperm outside the testis and is known as vasa efferentia. Right? This is vasa efferentia, and this is the duct which carry the sperms outside the testis. Right? So it is vasa efferentia. This is very important. All these vasa efferentia will join. All these vasa efferentia will join and form a coiled duct known as epididymis. What it is known as? It is known as epididymis. This hole is epididymis. Okay. Now the topmost part of epididymis is known as caput. The topmost part, maybe it is covering from here, like this. Now the middle part of epididymis is known as corpus. This is all corpus. The bottom part of it, the bottom part of epididymis is known as cauda. And a new duct from cauda is arising, is known as vas deferens. What it is known as, from where it is arising? It is arising from cauda, and this is known as vas deferens. Okay. Now this was the longitudinal section of testis, and the question can be asked, what is the pathway of sperm after its formation? You must keep in mind that site of formation of sperms is a seminiferous tubule, right? From where it moved to tubule recti, which leads them to retitestis. Then the sperms move to epididymis via vasa efferentia. Also, the question can be asked like, which duct is responsible for movement of sperms from testis to the epididymis? Then the answer will be vasa efferentia, right? The vasa efferentia. Outside the tunica albuginea, there is one more layer which is known as tunica vaginalis, which is made up of connective tissue. This is made up of connective tissue. We know that testes are present inside the pouch named scrotum. The testes are attached to the scrotum with the fibrous structure known as gubernaculum. Now let's move forward. We know that formation of sperms takes place inside the seminiferous tubule. Okay. So let us study the structure of the seminiferous tubule. In one lobule, that is testicular lobule, we have 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules, right? And this tubule is lined up with 2 types of cells, right? The first type of cell is the cuboidal cells, which are given here. These are the cuboidal cells in the germinal epithelium. These cells are known as the sperm mother cell or the spermatogonia, right? They are called as sperm mother cells also, and the other name is spermatogonium, right? Which are going to divide by the process of meiosis, to form the sperms. That is, these cells are responsible for the formation of sperms. Apart from these cells, okay, let me clear the screen first. So the second type of cells is known as Sertoli cells, right? Sertoli cells, which are present in here. It's like this. Okay, so these Sertoli cells, they are also known as nurse cells or sustentacular cells. Okay. These Sertoli cells secrete inhibin function, of which is to send negative feedback. They send negative feedback when enough sperm production has taken place and no further sperm production is required. Okay. It also secretes ABP. What is ABP? It is androgen binding protein. Okay, it is androgen binding protein, which maintains the concentration of testosterone inside the seminiferous tubule to form sperms easily, and it also forms a blood-testis barrier, which you will study later. Now see, the sperms are formed after birth, after puberty reached in a male. For the immune system, these cells will act as foreign materials. Foreign materials. They will act as foreign materials. So the immune system can reject it. So the Sertoli cells become a barrier so that immune system do not interfere in the process of spermatogenesis. The space between the two seminiferous tubules is known as interstitial space, right? This space is interstitial space. Let me mark it. This is known as interstitial space. And a special type of cells are present inside it, are known as interstitial cells. These cells can also be called Leydig cells. What are they also called? Leydig cells. These cells play an important role in releasing male sex hormone or androgens. They release androgens. And the most important male androgen is testosterone. This testosterone is the most important male androgen. This is required for spermatogenesis. Okay, that is formation of sperms. So the hormones are released inside the testis, which makes it endocrine gland. It is endocrine endocrine gland, because the hormones are released inside it, and also sperms are being released outside the testis. Hence it also acts as exocrine. That means it is acting as heterocrine glands, which is the similar case with pancreas. So till now we have studied about male reproductive system in general. I hope you understood the concept well from this video. In the next video, we will study the male reproductive system in detail and will understand how spermatogenesis occurs and what are the functions of different parts of male reproductive system. Thank you for watching this video.